Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And today, this is interesting. This is very interesting, actually. Some unknown composers whose names begin with the letter K. As we work our way backwards through the alphabet, we've wrapped up our 4-video survey of Korngold here at the Overflow room. And now we have Alexander Kopylov. Yeah, right. Household name, right? He lived from 1854 to 1911, which is almost exactly Mahler. Mahler was 1860 to 1911. So, that's like, yeah. He was a friend of Rimsky. Rimsky was his major influence, and he wrote this big symphony. It's a big sucker. A symphony in C minor, opus 14, which is, it's long. Let's see, what is that? 30 minutes plus 42 minutes, basically, in 4 juicy movements. It's traditionally orchestrated. It sounds Russian. It's kind of like the Rimsky-Korsakov Third Symphony. It's in that vein. Formally, it's a little cumbersome here and there, but the finale is quite zippy and not too long. The first movement's 20 minutes of Sturm und Drang. Actually, at the end is really gripping. It's very, very fateful and dark and Russian sounding. It's fun. If you like romantic Russian music, you'll enjoy this. You really will. This disc also contains his Scherzo in A, opus 10, and the Concert Overture in D minor, opus 31. It features the Moscow Symphony Orchestra under Antonio de Almeida, who I knew very, very well. We were friendly back in the day, and I remember when he did this. He was telling me about it. The Moscow Symphony in those days was just a pickup orchestra. This was just after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. This was recorded in 1998. Yeah, 1998. And it was kind of a catch-as-catch-can ensemble. But he did his best with it. He recorded a lot of interesting repertoire. He did all the Malipiero symphonies and Tornamir and all that stuff. So that was fun. I donated their percussion section. That was my gift to the Moscow Symphony Orchestra so that they could play some of these pieces. This does not require additional percussion in the symphony anyway. It's something, it's a novelty on ASV. It's also like out of print, so why am I even bothering? That's the question, isn't it? All right, so that's that. That's Kopylov. Now we have a very interesting Danish phenomenon. It is the Koppel family. Here they are, Father Herman and sons Anders and Thomas. And, they all write music. And Herman is sort of the best known of the batch, and he's also the most traditional. His dates were 1908 to 1998, and he has a direct link to Carl Nielsen. So if you like Nielsen and you want to hear what happened later, Hombo and Koppel are people to consider. But I have these guys all in alphabetical order. So first we get Thomas, and this is a charming disc of Mikola Petri, the great recorderist, playing what is he doing? His works for soprano recorder, recorder and arch lute, and sopranino recorder, strings, and celesta. Wasn't that fun? Moonchild's Dream, concerto for recorder and orchestra. Nelly's Dances for recorder and arch lute. Take out your arch lute. It's been sitting in that closet for far too long. You need to use it. My Uncle Charlie left me a banjo, which I never had any intention of playing. And every time I saw my Aunt Ida, she'd say, "Are you learning the banjo?" And I'm like, "Yes, Aunt Ida." "Can I hear something?" "No, Aunt Ida." Anyway, so if you have an arch lute sitting around in your basement, this is the time. And then the Los Angeles Street Concerto for sopranino recorder, strings, and celesta. Fun disc. And Mikola Petri, of course, is just splendid. She's as good as it gets in the recorder department. Then we've got 4 discs of orchestral works by Herman Koppel, and a disc of concertos. So we've got this thing, flute concerto, cello concerto, and piano concerto. And these are serious, interesting works. They really are, with various soloists and the Odense Symphony Orchestra under Paul Mann. Give them a shot if you are curious what happened after Carl Nielsen. The answer, quite a bit. And then we've got 4 discs of orchestral works. So let us go through them. And Symphony 6 and 7 and his Concerto for Orchestra with the Aalborg Symphony under Moshe Atzman. He's a very good conductor. They play the stuff very well. Symphony number 6 is the Sinfonia Breve, and it's only 15 minutes long. So there you go. He was influenced by neoclassicism and that kind of thing, but it's colorful and sometimes has some very interesting ideas. Symphonies 1 and 2. Number 1 is from 1929-30. Number 2 is 1943. So, if you like Bartók and Stravinsky and Hindemith and all those people, yeah. And then we've got, let's see, what's this one? Symphonies 3 and 4, 1944 and 1946. I mean, this is like a serious symphonist and a serious body of work. I remember enjoying these quite a bit. And he was one of the greatest Danish musical personalities of the 20th century. The patriarch of a musical dynasty that has become a Danish counterpart of the Bach family. His works are influenced by the neoclassicism of the interwar years and models like Bartók and Stravinsky. See, I told you. Who combine a rigorous intellect with impulsive rhythm. Sometimes there's even a touch of jazz, which was a great preoccupation of couples in the 1930s. There you go. And then we've got Prelude to a Symphony, Symphony number 5 from 1956, and Piano Concerto number 3 from 1948, which is really a lovely work. I mean, an enjoyable work. I really had fun with this. I remember this, which is really cool. So that's cool. So that's Hermann Koppel. That's what you got to keep in mind. Hermann. The other ones are Thomas and Anders. Works for saxophone and orchestra, 2 saxophone concertos, and Swan Song for alto saxophone, harp, and strings. Let's see, it's really cool. With one leg solidly planted in the European classical music tradition and the other in world music and rock and jazz, his activities as a composer can be seen as one long continuous effort to combine these cultures in a contemporary musical idiom. So, both concertos were written for his son, Benjamin. So, boy, that is some family, huh? I guess they are the Danish version of the Bach family, and they're out there. I mean, there's a bunch of them still around. It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's a name to keep in mind. I would start with Hermann and give those symphonies a listen. You'll have a very, very nice addition to your collection of music that is shamefully and unfortunately neglected. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.